We are but foolish beings, lost in delusions and without the least virtue. We should reflect on our helplessness, sorrow in our suffering, and rejoice that despite these, the compassion of Amida Buddha embraces and gives us deliverance. The Dharma urges us only to be thankful. In other words, just devotion and gratitude should be in our hearts. Gasho is the most noble pose that we may take. Amida Buddha, who guides us constantly, is enshrined in the home altar, and it is the center of our daily activities. It is to Amida Buddha alone that a devotional worship is held. It became traditional for the followers of Jodo Shinshu to chant the Shoshinge and Wasen in their daily devotionals through the urgings of Renyo Shonen. The Shoshinge was composed by Shinran Shonen. Within the 120 lines, he has summarized the teaching of Butsu, which leads all people to enlightenment as it was transmitted by the 7 patriarchs. The Nembutsu teaching is the primal vow of Amida Buddha, elucidated in the Triple Sutras of Jodo Shinshu. The Wasen is a compilation of the poems of praises and thanksgiving to Amida Buddha and the Buddha Dharma that were composed in Japanese by Shinran Shonen. It behooves us to follow the footsteps of the Shonen and with deep reflection offer our thanksgiving to the Tathagata by chanting the Shoshinge and Wasen. Shinran Shonen taught us that Amida has been the Buddha from time eternal. For Amida is the Dharma body of compassionate means, manifested from the ultimate thusness which is without color and without form. Amida Buddha, out of wisdom and compassion for us who do not have the eyes to see nor the capability of knowing ultimate thusness, came forth to open our lust-blinded eyes to give us, the bewildered sentients, deliverance into the Pure Land. When Shakyamuni was expounding the Sukhavati Vyuha Sutra, the fundamental sutra of Jodo Shinshu, he shone forth in unusual glory, radiating the light of his virtues. So much so that Ananda, a close disciple, asked in awe why this was so. The Buddha answered, quote, "The purpose of my birth in this world is to give deliverance to all men and women by teaching them the true virtues, and now I am about to realize that purpose." Close quote. And so saying, he taught the primal vow of Amida Buddha. This clearly establishes the purpose of Shakyamuni's birth in this world as being the teaching of the primal vow, and furthermore is definite evidence that his heart was Amida's heart and that he was preaching as Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha came into this world as Shakyamuni, expressly to transmit the teaching of the primal vow. Shakyamuni Buddha declared that the purpose of his appearance in this world was to expound the Dharma of the larger Sukhavati Vyuha Sutra, which tells us that Amida Buddha has assured us that through his wisdom and compassion, all men and women will be given deliverance. Shinran Shonen revealed this teaching and his faith in Jodo Shinshu, which had been savored and transmitted by the 7 patriarchs in India, China, and Japan, and he lived a life of serenity and thanksgiving. Amida Buddha, then, is the Buddha that gives deliverance. Shakyamuni Buddha and Shinran Shonen are the masters who truly lived and teach and guide us to the compassion of Amida Buddha. In Jodo Shinshu, through the power of the primal vow of Amida Buddha, the follower attains instantaneous birth in the Pure Land upon death. The follower will attain Buddhahood instantaneously with death. The lotus flower is frequently mentioned in relation with the Pure Land in the sutras, so it can be said that the lotus is a Pure Land flower. In some sutras, those who are born in the Pure Land are symbolically said to be born from a lotus flower. Again, the Pure Land has been called the storehouse realm of lotus flowers. Even though the roots of the lotus may be in muddy bottoms, it bears beautiful flowers, untainted by the filth of the pond. In the same way, we, the lustful and imperfect beings, through the compassion of the Buddha, are given the joy of faith in the primal vow, and thus reach enlightenment. For these reasons, the lotus flower is used as a sacred flower in Buddhist services. We are but foolish beings lost in delusions, and without the least virtue. We should reflect on our helplessness, sorrow in our suffering, and rejoice that despite these, the compassion of Amida Buddha embraces and gives us deliverance. The Dharma urges us only to be thankful. In other words, just devotion and gratitude should be in our hearts.